when she doxed my house and put all my personal information and my address and put my kids' lives in jeopardy, done. Game over. Over.
I know that you can't tell me everything that happens at the reunion, but was this probably one of the most intense reunions that you've probably ever had?
Well, I've only done 2, so.
Right.
Yeah. It was hard. There was something I had to own up to that I did when I was blacked out that, was horrible and I was really ashamed of. So it was hard basically having to do a fifth step on stage.
Okay.
That for me was the hardest. There was, one thing on there that was hard because I don't remember doing it, but I know I did. But the rest of it was just, there was a lot of lies that were told about me this year. A lot of people saying, big and little, I hired an investigator. No, I didn't. I hired a photographer for Black Lives Matter. No, I didn't. I don't pay my taxes. My husband had moved out because at that point he had it. So there's just a lot of lies. And at one point I was like, you know what? I'm not doing this anymore. I can't just sit here listening to you guys lie loudly and often and believe it. Like, I'm out, and that was hard. There was actually a lot more stories being told about me that weren't based on truth that I anticipated. And I feel like they'd been talking amongst themselves instead of actually calling me.
Is that the most frustrating thing for you? It's because you're like, why are you talking about me and not at me?
Yeah. Pick up the phone. I think like Elizabeth, I've talked to her maybe 20 minutes this whole season. It seems like, I don't know her very well. Mm-hmm. Emily and I barely spoke. Kelly and I, we were close before. When the A Movement, Not a Moment aired on Bravo, I knew there was going to be some backlash from my cast. And I told my producer, they're going to come after me now. And I was right. And that was hard. But, I think it's easier sometimes to just go with the lies than admit your own truths. And instead of looking inward, to just turn it around and shoot it outwards. And I think that happened a lot. I could have shown, whatever proof on my Instagram or done this, like, this is the truth. Mm-hmm. But at a certain point, it's like, why even feed into it? Then it becomes a back and forth. Right. And there's so many good things going on in my life right now with Amplified Voices, with the mental health Zooms, what I'm doing locally with OC Pride, the book I'm writing, there's just a lot of really great things. So if I keep putting my energy into the negative, then I'm going to get stuck there.
Sure.
And I don't want to do that. I've done a lot of work this year. I want to move forward. I want to become the best version of myself, and just falling into that back and forth. It's not what I want to do.
I mean, do you think that you and Kelly could ever be friends again after what has happened this season? Because she's talked about your mental health. She's made accusations and talked about your sobriety and things like that. So, and said it on a public place. Yeah.
Absolutely not. When she doxed my house and put all my personal information and my address and put my kids' lives in jeopardy, done. Game over. Over. NBC security had to get involved. It was a nightmare. It was crossing a line. I had housewives from other cities calling me like, what the hell just happened? I'm like, I know. For me, that was a line you do not cross. You don't F with my family. Mm-hmm. And she did. And she has many times. She's called out, we have a daughter that deals with bipolar. Mm-hmm. And she has used that as a weapon against me. That's not okay. They've played this mom shaming card. That's not okay. All of that, maybe I could have gotten over, but when you put my family in jeopardy, when you put their security and their safety, mm-hmm. and the car that my nanny drives them in, that was the one you focused on, that's not okay. Right. Don't do that to the kids.
Why do you think she has it out for you so much and so angry and, it seems like you have a target on your back when it comes to her?
I think that's what she's comfortable with. Every season she has a target. That is her, MO. And Tamar's gone, Vicky's gone. She doesn't know what to do if she's not fighting with someone. That's her comfort zone. And instead of supporting women and uplifting them, it's easier to create drama than support. And I do hope that changes next year. I really do hope the show can pivot and become more uplifting and positive. I think after 2020, we all want something that's like, let's get this together. Let's support each other. Let's bring out the best in each other.
Yeah. And she has faced some backlash, over comments that she's made about the Black Lives Matter movement and things like that over the course of this year. Do you think that she can change and maybe she will kind of?
No, I don't. I think that a lot of people, instead of listening they just want to be right. And Kelly's one of those people that really needs to be right.
Yeah.
It's easy for me to admit that I don't know much when it comes to the struggles of Black people. I don't know anything, you know, but I'm open to learning, and I'm open to keeping my mouth shut, and I'm open to admitting when I'm wrong, because I'm wrong. Obviously, I'm a middle-aged white woman from the suburbs. I'm wrong a lot. But you definitely need a little bit of humility to say, hey, I'm here. I'm willing to learn. I admit that I've made some mistakes. How can I change? And I just don't think Kelly has that in her.
Yeah. You mentioned Tamara before, and there's always all these rumors all the time that maybe she would come back next season, or wants to come back next season. How would you feel about that?
I would love that. I would love that. Tamara has been amazing to me. Amazing. When Sean was on his first date, I thought I was going to be fine, and I'm at dinner with her and I'm shaking, and she's like, honey, it's okay. It's okay. And she doesn't say anything. Tamara knew about me being sober. She's known about the issues I've struggled with my daughter. She's known about all the stuff with my marriage before it ever, got out there. And she keeps her mouth shut. She is a very good person. She gives great advice. I would love for her to come back. I would love that. I would love to have a friend on the show, an actual, person that has proven they have my back. And she knew about Chris long before it hit social media, and it's just one of those things where she's like, I support you. I support your husband. If you need anything, I'm here. She's a good person.